Culture.
I'm here with the family.
Bryce, XXV, Double I,
Rome.
D-Melo,
Gruff Lion.
T-Buggy, man.
To the greatest sports show on the planet, La Familia. Hope y'all ready for a ride.
Can't wait to hear what you guys got to say.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know what time it is, man. It's my favorite time of the year. We finally made it back, man. It's officially week one in the NFL. And for all the Commanders fans out there, we are back, held to the culture, with another great episode. Your boy, Young Rome 22 on all socials as always. And I'm here with man Bryce. I'm going to let him introduce himself. And then we're going to get into it. Go ahead, Bryce.
At Bryce, XXV, Double I, a.k.a. Mr. Big Leaguer. Hey, man, I said in the group chat earlier, man, this week is like, it's like holiday. It's like Christmas break for the kids when you in middle school. You know what I'm saying? This is the closest thing we get to Christmas break as grown men.
Yeah, man, between fantasy football kicking off, between the season kicking off, college football this past weekend, man. Yeah, I feel like a kid in a candy store, man. I'm a very happy camper right now. But as far as the Commanders are concerned, man, the news has been a little bit dry. You know, we signed Terry McLaurin, and you know, there's no real drama to talk about before the season. But today they did announce the unofficial depth chart, and there are a couple surprises on there that I want to get your thoughts on, Bryce. And let's start with the big one. As we know, they traded away Brian Robinson to the 49ers. And a lot of people were assuming that meant that, you know, Bill was going to be RB1. I know a lot of people were drafting him in their fantasy leagues around the NFL fan base here. But what are your thoughts on him being slotted at RB4 on this unofficial depth chart? Is that a red flag, or are people reading a little bit too much into that?
I would not say it's a red flag at all. Y'all, let's think back, man. Remember back when Jay Gruden was here and they first realized how good Terry McLaurin was, and they didn't play that man all preseason. They was hiding him, and then when we got to the depth chart, he was kind of low on there. But the first game came, they was clearly featuring him. I'm expecting something very similar here. If you did go and grab Bill early in your fantasy football draft, go ahead and handcuff that with Chris Rodriguez. That's your smart money. But I think anyone that watched us last season that understands the value that Austin Eckler provides, you're crazy if you think he's going to be getting RB1 touches, bro. Like Austin Eckler, let's not forget, right? Austin Eckler, you know, missed considerable amount of time last season, mostly due to concussion, right? You don't want that guy taking that beating that he's going to take if he's getting RB1 carries, right? You want someone that's a little more durable and a little more fit for that role. And I think look no farther than Bill and Chris Rodriguez. Another thing that stood out to me there was Jeremy McNichols was number 2. Do we really think Jeremy McNichols was going to be the number 2 back? Do we really think Jeremy McNichols was going to be the second lead producing back in this offense? Absolutely not. So sometimes I feel like you got to read between the tea leaves a little bit there. And what it's telling me is that Bill is their guy, but they want to catch you by surprise a little bit with Bill.
Yeah, man, I agree completely. When I saw McNichols was the number 2 back, that told me all I needed to know. Eckler being slotted as RB1, I feel like, you know, that's a respect thing. Like, he's still going to be in the same role, but there's no way he's going to get RB1 touches. That those days are done. That was the Austin Eckler of old with the Chargers, but those days are behind him now. We already know what type of time he's going to be on in Washington. As far as Bill being fourth, to me, that's the great fake out. If you were watching college football the other night, you saw Bill Belichick put out his unofficial depth chart, and it was completely blank. He had nobody slotted in any position. So I mean, the coaches can do what they want with these things, and they oftentimes do. So Bill being RB4 to me is no indication of what's to come. I don't think you keep him on the roster. You probably practice squad him or something like that if he was going to actually be your RB4. Maybe they ease him in though. Do you think there's any type of plan? Do you think right off the bat he'll be the kind of the lead dog, or do you kind of see you kind of alluded to it already with Chris Rodriguez? Do you kind of see him getting more touches early on?
Yeah, actually, you bring a really strong point there about easing Bill in, right? Because we remember the last season, Brandon Coleman was our left tackle, but he was definitely eased in. right? And I think that's something to be cognizant of when you look at this regime. Like that's their thing. Their thing is to ease the young guys in. On top of that, because someone might be like, well, Bryce, Josh Connolly's starting right tackle on the depth chart. They're not easing him in. But what I would say to that is like draft position matters. You know what I'm saying? Bill being that 7th round pick. So I think I could see a world where they are easing Bill in, and maybe for the first 2-3 weeks of the season, you've got Austin Eckler getting them type of lead back, putting up lead back numbers as far as carries go, as far as touches go. But I don't think it will take long for them to really start easing Bill in, and maybe C-Rod as well. My bet is on C-Rod to be kind of the bell cow early on, and then slowly that being transitioned to Bill. I wouldn't be shocked if like Bill and C-Rod are kind of in line to split the carries, the bulk of the carries on first and second down. I wouldn't be shocked at all to see that.
Yeah, I think C-Rod actually this week is going to get a good amount of touches. I would not be surprised at all if, as far as handoffs go, as far as carries go, I wouldn't be surprised at all if he was the leader in that category. And I think who knows? I think it'll be a lot of situational. I think what they do with the rookies, oftentimes, what I've seen with Quinn and them is they make them earn it. So I think Bill will get his number called, and what he does with that will determine how many more touches he got. They'll probably roll with the hot hand, and often in most scenarios. But I'm excited to see what they do with the running back position. But you already kind of touched on it with Josh Connolly, who on the unofficial depth chart they already have him slotted as starting right tackle, which at one point a lot of people thought him and Andrew Wiley would be rotating, kind of similar to what they did with Brandon Coleman last year. But it seems Josh Connolly has impressed them enough throughout camp and over the summer to hold that spot down outright. And it looks like Nick Allegretti and Andrew Wiley are going to be switching off at right guard while Sam Cosmi's out, which is an interesting wrinkle that I don't think many people saw coming leading into the season. So what do you think about Josh Connolly getting that right tackle spot? And what do you think about the O-line overall without Sam Cosmi right now?
Yeah, it was interesting because Sam Cosmi in there as a starter was it made me scratch my head a bit. But as far as Josh Connolly goes, like, man, dog, I was very impressed with Josh Connolly, man. I was very impressed with him against the Patriots in the opener. I was impressed with them against the Bengals.
I froze for a second.
Oh, my bad. Am I there? Am I good? Yeah, I've just been very impressed with the kid, man. And it seems like they hit that pig out of the park from what I've seen. I think my initial concern with Josh Connolly was play strength, right? I was like, I felt okay with the technique. I just thought it might take an adjustment. I thought it might be an adjustment getting up to speed with the strength of the NFL. But dog, he didn't make it look all that difficult in his first couple preseason games. I think early on against the Patriots, he kind of had to get through some growing pains, and I feel like he figured it out really, really quickly. I think we got a good one with Josh Connolly, man. I was not shocked to see him win that job outright.
Yeah, I mean, I know you weren't shocked because honestly, you called it. You called it way back in the draft time when we had Wole on the show from the urban sports scene. You actually, and I believe when we went on this show, you spoke on it too. So Josh Connolly was an excellent pick, and I believe once Sam Cosmi's back from his injury, once he gets slotted in there at right guard, this O-line could be something to deal with. But while he's out, what are you thinking about potentially Allegretti and Wiley rotating at right guard? Do you think that'll be something that can actually work? You think that's a good Band-Aid? It'll be a hell of a test for them this week as well with Dexter Lawrence on the Giants.
Yeah, I've never seen a depth chart that listed a position as or. It was like Wiley or Allegretti.
Yeah. That's why I wanted to get your thoughts on that because I'm like, are they even sure? Like, what I'm saying? Like, if you get beat one drive, you're out. The next one, like, what's going on?
Yeah, no, I thought that was very interesting, man. To me, it's splitting hairs between Allegretti and Wiley, right? Because I think one is better at what the other is not. Like, they're kind of opposites. I feel like Allegretti is much better in a phone booth, where if you're talking about, like, for instance, right, we got the Giants this week, right? Dexter Lawrence, I'd rather have Allegretti on him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd rather have Allegretti on Dexter Lawrence. But if we're going against maybe a smaller, more athletic style of D tackle, maybe I'd rather have Wiley. You know what I mean? They really offered totally different skill sets to me. But I do feel like Allegretti, I would probably lean Allegretti. Although I like Wiley. But I just feel like if you go Allegretti, you've got Wiley available as that swing tackle. And to me, that's the more important back position than back guard.
They were even kicking Wiley inside in the first place. I thought that was so he's the swing tackle, and the fan base gave him they gave him hell really when he first came over here. But I think Wiley's done a good job in his tenure in Washington.
Good. I can't go as far as to call it good. I'd say serviceable, man. And
for what he's been asked.
Yeah, and like, I'm not one that's going to shit on Wiley, because I think Wiley's got some really good qualities. I think, like, especially depending on what the offensive game plan is. Like, for instance, preseason, we saw them doing a lot more movement with the guards than I had seen before. Guards and tackles, but especially those guards getting out on, like, those counter trays and stuff that you saw in the preseason.
Yeah.
That was a little surprising, taking it back to the Hogs. I feel like Wiley's more suited for that. Like, so if we're looking to get up to the second level in the running game and really move our linemen around, then maybe Wiley is the choice. But in that same light, I think if we're gonna, be dropping back 40 times, I think I'd rather have Allegretti back there. I don't know.
Yeah, well, at the end of the day, we both rather have Sam Cosmi in there. That's the obvious answer. So the sooner he can get healthy, the better. Another interesting thing that I noticed on the depth chart that I want to get your thoughts on was Debo, a kick returner. Now, we know Austin Ekeler was the kick returner last year. Obviously, I think they want to minimize some of the hits on him after the concussions. McNichols was the kick returner in the NFC Championship game. And personally, I didn't even want him to make the team. Seeing him at RB2, I knew that was a troll job by Dan Quinn, because ain't no way in hell that man is your RB2. I don't want to see him get no touches in this game. But what are your thoughts on Deebo Samuel at kick returner? Do you think that's a nice change of pace?
I think it's interesting, right? One, Debo's dynamic, and he damn sure could return kicks, right? He can return kicks, he can return punts, he could pretty much do anything on the football field. I'm not sure I would risk it, though. I'm not sure I would risk it, right? Because, like, to me, he's just too important of a piece for the offense and the offensive success this season. But I get what Dan Quinn and those guys are thinking, right? The kickoff is totally different now. It's almost like a scrimmage play, right? Where you got linemen in front of you, you're able to read gaps, holes, blocks, like at a lot slower than you did in the original kickoff format. So I see why they're doing it. I think if you can get a 25-yard return out of Debo, then the offense is starting in a better place. But it just wouldn't. It's not my preference to see what I think is our second best offensive weapon, third best player overall on offense. I don't really want to see him back there returning kicks. Like, dog, Luke McCaffrey should be able to do that, or somebody like.
Yeah, and I thought it was interesting that Luke McCaffrey was actually behind Jalen Lane on punt return. But I would rather see the rookie, Jalen Lane, out there returning kicks. I think he's going to be used a little bit less on offense. And I think it'll be interesting to see who's actually out there come game time, because this could be another situation like Bill, where Bill will be an RB4. And it's unofficial for a reason. You know what I mean? So I think it'll be interesting once the ball is actually kicked off to see who's returning it. But I do think we see Debo return some kicks this year. I was like you said about Debo, I was surprised last year when Austin Ekeler was doing it, because Ekeler was a pretty significant part of the offense last season, but they still had him returning kicks. So I don't think that they won't have Debo do it at all, but I agree with you, though. I'd like to see it a little bit more sparingly.
Yeah, and I think that's also like a part of the mindset of just like Dan Quinn's overall crew, where they look at like every play contributes to a football game, right? I don't think they're like viewing special teams plays separately from offensive plays, right? It's like this is all contributing to us winning. So I get why they had Austin out there last year. I get why they had Debo out here this year. The interesting part of all of that, right, is through all of that we're talking about, for some reason, Jeremy McNichols ended up returning the kick. It's almost like they do all these things that would lead you to believe that they think like a kickoff is this much of an important play. When the playoffs was here, they threw anybody back there, bro. People that had never done it all season. So it's just like, I don't know, a little consistency would be nice. If you all do think this is that important of a play, let's just keep it consistent across the board and always have a dog back there.
Well, I think, to be honest, I think that was just one of the many failings of Luke McCaffrey. Not to rag on this guy for a quick little second, but you replace the kick return. You're like what, fifth receiver on the team. If they sign Kendrick Bourne, you might be sixth. I think Luke McCaffrey should have been the kick returner all season last season, but he just didn't hold it down, and they didn't trust him to do it, which led to Jeremy McNichols and that devastating fumble. But look, I'll save the Luke McCaffrey slander for another time. Hopefully he finds a way on the field this season and can turn it around, man. But I think that was one thing that stood out to me on the depth chart was Jalen Lane being ahead of Luke McCaffrey in every category.
Yeah. I mean, the Luke saga will never end until he's either cut or makes a Pro Bowl. It's one or the other. That's the tough thing for Luke at this point. It's like he literally either got to be cut or make a Pro Bowl, or no one's ever going to care. Like if Luke was to go out and get like a cool 400 yards this season, a lot of people still call him a bust. You know what I'm saying? I'm not too rough on Luke McCaffrey yet. He's only been in the league 1 year. Let's get a guy some time.
They already cut Hudson. They cut the linebacker.
Hampton, yeah.
Hampton, my bad.
They did cut Dominique Hampton. I was surprised about that too. You know what I'm saying? I think there's something to be said about a GM who's willing to cut bait, recognizing that somebody doesn't fit. We don't know why he didn't fit, but with Luke, I mean, we've seen a willingness to do anything that's asked of him. You know what I'm saying? Like the guy is gunner on kickoff, on punts, and he's making plays out there, bro. I watched him make plays on kickoff. He had a couple tackles I remember during the preseason. I'm like, dog, he out there giving max effort. I still go back to that. Was it the Bengals game where Luke caught a ball, took it to the pylon, and they ruled him out of bounds, like a half yard short of the end zone? And I swear, bro, if he scores that touchdown, I can almost guarantee you his season goes totally different, bro. Like, and it's crazy how and then the fan base probably views him a little differently too. But it's crazy like how much of a confidence game like football is and sports are in general. I feel like Luke's just a little confidence away from breaking through.
Who knows, man? I was hoping he could turn into James Thrash maybe one day down the line, but we'll see what's in store for Luke.
Good comp though.
Yeah. But yeah, man, let's go ahead and get into it, bro. Like week 1, man, we're a few days away. Bro. Sunday, we got the Giants. Sold out game in Northwest Stadium. What are your thoughts? What are your expectations on week 1 for our Commanders?
Bro, I'm gonna be honest, bro. Like, you know me, man. I think my lifetime as a Skins fan, Skins, Commanders, whatever you want to call it, my lifetime as a fan of Washington definitely gives me a pessimistic outlook. But I do like to consider myself a realist. And, I'll say this. The Giants played us really tough last season. Like, we did not have a cakewalk with the Giants. In fact, they beat us one game, right?
Nope, we swept them last year. But
one of the games was tough, right? One of the games was down to the wire.
All field goals.
It's crazy. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a competitive ball game, bro. Like if you're in a Survivor League, do not take the Commanders to win. I wouldn't do it. It wouldn't shock me if we lost. I wouldn't be shocked if we lost the game. Remember, man, early season football is always a little weird, bro. NFL football, the first 2-3 weeks, you never really know what you're looking at yet. You might think you do, but shit is bound to change. For instance, the Eagles were like 2-2 after 4 last season, right? And went on that crazy run, right? It wouldn't shock me if we get a really competitive game. And I think that the Giants have, as a team, they have what typically plays early, right? D-line to me plays early in the season, right? Like D-lines, if you got a good D-line, typically you're good. Your D-line's good from the beginning to the end. If you got a good offense, typically it can take a little time for everything to get clicking. I still take us to win. I see about a 3 to 4 point margin of victory, though. I don't think we're going to blow the Giants out. Yeah, but I think it's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be close. And I think for us, the key is going to be a quick game against the Giants. Like, we can establish the quick game early, keep that D-line on their heels. I think that's going to be very, very important. I know some are going to say, like, establish the run, but to me, that quick game is going to be key here. Can we get our quick hitters off to Debo, Austin Eckler, Terry McLaurin, couple slants, right? Like, those quick hitters are going to be key. My number one key to winning the game.
Nah, that's actually an excellent point. But yeah, I think you're right, man. I think a lot of fans are very hyped, very excited, want to blow out the Giants, because why wouldn't you, man? Right? Like, no love for Big Blue, no love for the New York Giants at all. But don't sleep on them. Don't sleep on them. I know they were one of the bottom teams in the league last year, but they got Russell Wilson this season. They still got Malik Neighbors, who's a dog, and they got hella pass rushers. We talked about Josh Connolly early, man. How do you think he's going to hold up against this pass rush? He's got the starting job. It's all his. He's got no rotation. But how do you think he's going to do against Abdul Carter, Brian Burns, Thibodeau, and that hellacious Giants pass rush?
Well, I know how we're going to do against Abdul Carter, the same way he did against him in college. I ain't worried about Abdul, bro, because Josh Connolly got his number. Yeah, I don't know. I think Josh will hold up. I'm not really concerned about Josh Connolly. I think I'm more concerned about the interior than I am with the tackles. I think out the gate, Josh Connolly is going to be like damn near a Pro Bowl player, bro. Like, wow. I really do. Yeah, I really do. Like, what I saw in the preseason, bro, I was shocked with how I expected the movement, but I was shocked with how strong he was, how easily he was able to move people out the way. Yeah, I'm expecting big things from Josh. I don't foresee him struggling. I think when it comes to Josh struggling, it might be more against like Dexter Lawrence on a game, right? Like or on a stunt where him and Brian Burns are crossing each other, and now Josh Connolly's expected to block freaking Dexter Lawrence. So I think that could get tough. Like when we talk about those big strong guys, but them fast guys, Brian Burns, Abdul Carter, Thibodeau, I think Josh Connolly handles them, bro.
Interesting. Yeah, if I have no concerns about Tunsil at all whatsoever. Tunsil's already proven he's top of the line. Put him against the Myles Garrett's of the world, and let him fight. So I'm not worried about Tunsil in any sense. But Connerly, I want to see it. I do like what I saw in the preseason. You make some excellent points, and I don't think he's going to go out there and struggle. I don't think he'll be giving up multiple sacks or nothing like that. But I do think one of the keys will be how he holds up against the pass rush. If he's as advertised, then the Commanders might run away with this. If we can neutralize the pass rush in any way, then I like our chances in every other facet of the game. I don't think their secondary could keep up with Terry McLaurin. I think Terry, I don't think he's going to be on a pitch count in this game. I think they're going to let him, roll out, even though he's missed some of camp. And I'm expecting a big game. I think he'll hit a couple splash plays. Maybe he doesn't have like 7-8 catches, but I think watch for Terry to hit 1 or 2 big plays, and he's definitely going to get in the end zone in this game. And yeah, I like the Commanders to win, no question. But I do think it'll be a dogfight, and I would not be surprised if the Giants either make it close or somehow steal one. I know a lot of fans want this to be an easy blowout. Commanders run away with it, man. But I don't know, man. I think a lot of people around the NFL are sleep on this Giants team.
I could not agree more, bro. Giants are strong to me, especially defensively. One of the things I'm gonna be watching for, man, early. I'm really wondering how they're gonna use Jaden this year, bro. Last year he didn't get a ton of passing attempts. it's not like we didn't see too many like 42 attempt games, right? 38 attempt games, right? He was kind of in that 20 to 27 range pretty consistently. And I really wonder what kind of offense that we're going to be trotting out this season. Like, what's going to be the advancement of the offense? Like, I want to see Jaden throw the rock more, bro. I want to see, I want to see more pass attempts, and I think that will really kind of tell me a lot with how they view the season and how they view the roster as well. Because like to me, Connolly and Tunsil, those are pass protectors, bro. Don't get me wrong, they can get to the second level, but like prototypical pass protectors, especially Connolly. Like when I went back and watched his Oregon tape, like that's a pass protector. That's not like a mauling, tackle, right? Not to say that he can't. Like he can be a road grader, but I'm really interested to see like what the outlook is for Jaden this year and if it's going to be similar usage to what it was last season.
Yeah, I agree, man. I think they're gonna. Well, I'm hoping that they let Jaden air it out. I think he's proven he can handle it from the pocket and use his legs when need be. In the preseason, we didn't get to see him throw one pass attempt, so hopefully that's not an indication of how it's gonna roll out in the regular season. But I do think they'll have him air it out more, and I think there'll be some chances against this Giants secondary. I don't think this Giants secondary is a secondary to be feared. And like I said, if you can neutralize the pass rush, then there'll be some shots to be taken. So I like the Commanders in this game. And one thing I'm gonna keep an eye on too, like we already mentioned, is how many touches the running backs get, not just individually but overall. I want to see how the run game looks without Brian Robinson. And I've said this in the past. I don't want Jaden Daniels to be the leading rusher. I know it's definitely trending that way already this season. But I don't think that that's a good trend overall for your star quarterback to be your leading rusher a year in and year out. I know Lamar Jackson was for about 4 years straight in Baltimore, and then look what they did. They went and got one of the best running backs in the league, maybe one of the best running backs in the history of the league, in Derrick Henry. So running backs still matter, especially even if you got a running back or a quarterback that can run as well. So hopefully one of these guys steps up and can really be the lead dog overall, because I don't want to see Jaden Daniels leading rusher every season.
No, agreed. And like for me, I'm gonna be like last year he had 6 yards per attempt, right? Rushing the ball. And that's more concerning to me than like how often he rushed the ball, right? And what I'm getting at is I don't want to see these like 4 yard, 5 yard, third down conversions with Jaden running the ball into the teeth of the defense. You know what I'm saying? Like if he's our leading rusher, but his yards per attempt goes from like 6 to 9.5, meaning
Right.
basically like when he does run, it's because like it's a crazy lane and he's killing the defense on, like, you know what I mean? Like I'm cool with that, but like I don't want to see like these between the tackle runs that they were designing last year, or these like outside zoning to death, or like 4th and 2 and we running Jaden off tackle
on a trap. Yeah. Now, honestly, that should have been the giveaway that Brian Robinson was going to get traded, bro. Like now that I'm remembering it, I'm like, yeah, they were running fucking Jaden like he was Cam Newton. You don't need Brian Robinson. If you've already decided you're gonna do all that, then you don't need Brian Robinson. So
facts. And Jaden can do that. Don't get me wrong, but like it's just not what I want to see out of the offense this year. Like,
yeah, I feel like Jaden can literally do it all, right? Like I think we saw as Commanders fans, and I know a lot of people around the league want to sleep on Jaden and say it's just one good season, but we've seen Jaden do just about everything really well when the time was called. So I have no doubts that he can make it happen. It's just a matter of he doesn't need to be the one to make everything happen. You got to build around him so that he can flourish and grow, because he still got some things that he could get better at in the game. And that's really what I'm looking for most in Jaden. Is like you said, I want to see him drop back more, continue to progress as a passer, get through your progressions, and I need some 300-yard games this year. I need a 4,000-yard passer out of DC. We had Lake Lewis on the show. He said MVP season loading for Jaden. So I mean, like, I think big things will happen in this first game. I'm trying not to jinx it, so I haven't said too much on it, but I think you know, you know, Bryce. I know you know.
Yeah, no, I'm expecting big things. I thought Lake was really high on Jaden, and like it's hard not to be high on Jaden if you watched Commanders game, right? And we're all high on Jaden, but like I want to see how Cliff's going to use him, right? I think Cliff did a really good job of introducing him to the NFL, and now it's like everyone keeps talking about Jade, the next step for Jaden. Like, is he going to take the next step, or is it going to be like a regression? But like, I need to see the offensive calling take a next step for Jaden. You know what I'm saying? Not just like Jaden taking the next step. Like Jaden ready, bro. But like, let's let him rip. Let's let him rip it, man. Let's let him rip it. And don't get me wrong. When it got to the playoffs, bro, they started letting them rip it. You feel me? Like Detroit, even Philly, I say, like they were like, bro, we're putting the game on your arm and not your legs.
Yeah.
But I'd like to see that earlier and sooner in the season because I think Jaden's earned that right.
Yeah, man. I think he's about to take it over. He's already put the league on notice, man. I think this year he takes it over. But yeah, man, y'all know what it is here at Hair to the Culture. We'll be with you all season long with some special guests as well. And you know, man, if y'all want to leave a comment, hit us up on Twitter, Instagram, any of that, man. Follow us on Gas right here on YouTube as well. And Bryce, you know how we end every show, man. Hair to the Culture.